Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the land on which we study and the site for which my design exists, and pay my respects to the elders both past, present and emerging. Newport, located west of Melbourne, forms a part of the Inner West community. COVID pandemic was difficult for local families, but this beautiful help your neighbour philosophy emerged. Regeneration, community SharePoint, cafe and shelter harnesses this idea of what is mine is yours. It addresses issues of waste, homelessness and community. A rejuvenation of country instills respect, and sharing decreases waste and builds a collective community. As Plout Dunbar in their article Regenerative Development Through Lenses highlights that we need to move beyond sustainable design to regenerative, where the approach addresses environmental, social and economic problems. They proposed a notion of communities working together with an ecological worldview, moving away from competition and individual wealth towards collaborative approach which offers opportunity to create health and abundance. Regeneration adopts this principle. Regeneration is a collection and redistribution point for food and goods. This letterbox market and community gardens enables people to pay it forward with their waste. The streets of Newport have shared footpaths and large verges that could facilitate share hubs and billboards. These would be where people can share items they don't use or food, or post their billboards larger items for collection at the Newport Dog Park. Newport Dog Park is a place that exhibits community spirit. People gather, chat and socialise. However, it is a very unutilised space with amazing potential. It is on the banks of the Yarra River with views to the city and the Westgate Bridge. There is a concrete building already on site that is not used. As Lino Bobardi would suggest, the building would be repurposed. It is a prime site to instigate change that goes beyond sustainability to regenerating the environment and the community. There are three main issues that Regeneration addresses: homelessness, waste, equality, and inclusion for all. The highest number of homeless people are people of my age with children. Newport is a family area, and homelessness is not always people sleeping on the streets but couch surfing. Around 195,000 Australian households are waiting for social housing. 1 in 10 of those are Indigenous, 4 in 10 have one or more members with a disability. Regeneration would aim to address this, offering shelter. Indigenous Australians have such a rich culture that offers examples of community, connectedness and belonging. Yet our Australian past is an example of injustice, discrimination and segregation. The site would aim to pay respects to their traditions and engage in their methods for caring for country. Australia alone generates over 75 billion tonnes of waste per year. Households alone generate 12.4 million tonne, throwing away 3.1 million tonnes of food each year, 37% of which is organic food waste. And to think there are people starving and struggling to buy food. Regeneration aims to be a contribution to address these issues. The building will be utilised to house lockers for collection and sharing, slowing communities' needs to purchase new goods. After hours, the cafe closes, then it sorts food and feeds the homeless and people in need. The site has been assessed for passive design and thermal benefits. The building is designed as operable louvers that are able to be opened up to allow air to flow through and cool the building in summer and enable a flexibility of purpose. All building materials, fitting and fixtures would be reclaimed or repurposed. There is an aquaponics pond to manage on-site waste and make fertiliser for the crops. All waste would be managed on-site. The site would be regenerated with Indigenous edible plants and formed using methods the Indigenous used and thrived for on hundreds of years prior to European settlement. The country would be cared for by the community and those needing shelter on site. It would enable people to learn, connect and reconnect with the rich living cultural heritage of our Indigenous past. There would be a shelter on site for those in need, and it would be tied in with pre-existing community non-for-profit agencies to help direct to those most in need. These spaces are nondescript camp-like in fashion. It enables a flexibility in spaces to be opened up and for activities that would benefit the community as a whole, such as art, cooking and weaving. The on-site cafe would produce meals from produce shared to the cafe from households' waste and produce grown on-site. The cafe would be run by people in need of reskilling and rehabilitation and help them to find confidence and a sense of belonging. There would be no waste at Regeneration, and any leftovers would be shared to people who are in need. It is a sharing space and it should enable people to feel welcome to come and enjoy a meal. Regeneration creates a positive and impactful design response to the climate breakdown due to excessive waste and mass consumerism. It aims to help homelessness and to foster a sense of community through sharing. The concept is scalable to include more localities. Thank you for listening to my concept of Regeneration.